So I'm doing this research with David's help and help of some MBA interns here called 21 Companies for the 21st Century. And what I'm looking for is companies that are growing in the most important ways, companies that are thriving in the 21st century, and what are they doing differently than their counterparts? So the question that people are asking is, what if what if business had a bigger purpose? If I were to sort of analyze the trends, I'd have sort of an economic view of business. That was one trend. Make money, make profit, grow the regional economy, create customers. Then I get this sprinkling of this airy-fairy do good, make the world a better place, create some benefit beyond the business. Okay, so since its founding, this publication, very influential one, has been a proponent primarily of business is an economic enterprise. Shareholders deserve absolute primacy in terms of their interests. And don't tell me what to do. That's how I'd sum it up. Okay? The second biggest business publication today after Fortune is a magazine called Fast Company. On the cover is Mark Parker, the CEO of Nike, the most creative CEO in the world, it's called. And I just want to tell you that the world that is described in Fast Company and the view of that same world as described in this publication is vastly different. And what I want to suggest today is I want you to just be open to the possibility that this is yesterday's news. And I want you to consider, now think about what I was talking to these GM guys about. I want you to consider, you may not believe it, you may not like it. I just want you to consider, what if it's true that this was yesterday's news and this was a picture of the future? Just for today, just for the next few hours. I promise you won't be hospitalized. So, not only does the CEO of Cisco Systems, which is growing pretty rapidly right this minute, says they want to have the best products in the world. Not only have they said they want to be the best business in the world, what their goal is to be the best enterprise for the world. So what John Chambers means by this, and it goes back to his roots, he believes that if there was one intervention that could be made across the world that would create world peace and world prosperity, it would be universal education. So, when Doug Conant took over Campbell's Soup 8 years ago, Campbell's Soup was a tired, drifting old brand dying on shelves. And he decided he was going to do one thing. Try to get employees to create better products, because he couldn't do it. He's one guy. So what he thought was this: if I can ignite the passion of our employees to do what they really want to do, what he says, if I make it easy for them to express their values, we're going to have relevant products for consumers that reignites our brand. What my friends at Nike says is this: that's the purpose of business. Our business isn't about making stuff or selling stuff. This is Nike. Don't they just make stuff and sell stuff? It's helping people reach their true potential. So we'll talk a little bit more about Nike because I'm spending a lot of time there. But Nike is trying to change the world through access to sport. And you're going to see a big campaign in the fall called Innovate for a Better World. And here's what they find. There's 800 million women under the age of 35 who are functionally illiterate in the world. 800 million. So if you think of the loss of value that those women could bring to the world, to their villages, to their areas, because they're illiterate, it's incalculable, the loss of value. And what they've discovered is that illiterate girls who learn how to play sports, and they primarily play volleyball, basketball, and soccer, gain self-esteem, or what's called self-efficacy, self-determination. Like, I can do things. I can achieve things. I'm important. I'm not physically afraid. I can develop some physical prowess. So there's in those cultures, girls who take part in sport are much less likely to be abused, to be victimized, to be enslaved, to be raped, to be all those horrible things that happen to disenfranchised girls. So I can go on and on with what they've found. They have a thing called the Homeless World Cup. What they found is if they take homeless people and treat them like Olympic athletes, that after that week, so they have uniforms and they stay in nice places, after that week, the number of homeless people who gain skills like literacy, gain good jobs, and begin to live in permanent homes goes up dramatically. All this through sport. Who would have thought, right? So what are they up to? They're up to creating a better world, innovating a better world. So there's a business revolution going on, and this is what it looks like. The fellow on the cover of Fast Company says this, that in the 21st century there is only one path. We must be pro-people, pro-planet, and pro-innovation. That's the only way we can grow. Now, by the way, in the developing countries, Nike's growing at about a 40% growth rate. Their stock just hit an all-time high in the midst of this stock market. Is it good for business? You tell me.